We do have a new person joining us today. My friend Bryn will be joining me, Kane, Nosy, and Wormet. So, yay.
Welcome.
Hola.
And where we left off last time was you had just escaped the death house.
And the ghost
Just
children of doom.
barely.
Da, da, da.
Yes.
Here,
I
we'll...
don't remember what daylight is like anymore. It burns.
And there are... You guys notice people outside for the first time.
Oh yeah, because were we under a spell?
You don't know. It has also been almost 4 days since you entered the house, so...
That is a long,
4 days.
long
We've been
trek
in
for
the house
us.
for 4 days.
I had to sleep a few times because we were so wiped out.
I'm gonna need to get new rations. I'm out of rations.
No, see, you're super echoing right now.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me. That's done.
You're sounding distant and echoey.
Better?
Yes, much.
Better?
Is it still echoey?
Yes.
Damn it.
Here, let me just adjust the.
That's on your end. I'm not hearing an echo.
We are.
Are you in the same room with your stuff?
I'm in
No.
the same room as Kane.
There. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, we're in 3 different locations. So I've been thinking a lot about how to describe to you guys what you see outside. And I think I'm going to, for at least a little bit of poeticness, blatantly rip off William Gibson's first line from Neuromancer, where the sky looks like TV tuned to a dead channel. In other words, normal for the Pacific Northwest in the middle of winter.
Roiling gray.
Yes. And 2 things. Well, there are 3 things that you guys kind of put together all at once. Number 1, it should be about noon, but you would guess that the current light level will be low enough that they'll start lighting torches in about 2 hours. So again,
Sounds like the Pacific Northwest.
yes, like the Pacific Northwest in January. And also, when you guys left, like when you guys were in Daggerford before you came here, it was nearing midsummer.
Now it feels like early fall.
Well, the light level indicates it's not early summer.
Whoa. We really time traveled. We have time loss.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna say it's aliens.
But... Okay, so...
But it could be Fae.
We are now on the map of Barovia. So, yeah, where do you guys want to go?
Oh, I can hear everybody again. Okay.
Huzzah! Is there a tavern nearby or someplace I can buy rations?
Probably.
Cleric needs food badly.
What is this thing in the middle right here? Looks like the only thing with a picture.
That is Bren's character,
Looks like a manor house.
who's in the building.
Okay. So we need to eventually make our way over there. Is that...
Well, that's actually the tavern, but you guys don't know that
Don't
yet.
really know that.
Okay.
We should explore.
All right. So we started walking down this path. Can we go ahead and just like keep like walking like down the street?
Yeah. I've also bumped all of you to full health, but you're not actually going to be full health until the rest. I just don't expect you guys to need to do anything health-wise before.
That's a relief.
Well, that's good. Let's see.
And
so we
it-
should.
It is still
maybe
foggy,
ask?
by the way.
Oh yeah. I have done something horrible. I will tell you about later.
What?
So you know how Georgie likes to yowl once we start streaming?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry. So I put some treats in a tissue box so that he could try to get them out. The first thing he did was he got his head stuck in. I was sitting over here trying not to laugh. I'm so sorry.
You're only 50% responsible for what happened.
I know, but still. It was like the funniest thing I've seen all week. But he got all the treats. So, anyway. Yeah, should we maybe ask one of these people walking by where the tavern or an inn or
Where
someplace
may-
not haunted?
Where may we find supplies?
Yeah.
Points of interest.
Points of interest, yes.
Or
Do we want to
more
ask
importantly,
anybody about this fucked up house?
where are we? Should probably be our first question.
Is that, are you using old man voice on me?
Yes.
You know where we are. Forgot about that little bit. of
Oh
information.
yeah, where are we?
Important details.
To quote Paris Hilton, where the hell are we?
Oh God.
That was a good one. I like it.
Oh God.
Okay, so you guys want to just find a random person and ask them?
Yes, I
Is
will.
this a fairly busy street?
Not really.
I will find someone who doesn't look horribly uninviting and try to strike up a conversation.
Whoa. I need to reconnect real quick. Okay. I glitched out for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were saying you would like to find someone who doesn't look horribly uninviting?
Yes, and ask them where we are and where we can find provisions.
So, the people walking by, they all seem to be staring openly at you, in silence.
Oh,
But I'm very charismatic,
Very
so I hope to convince them that I'm okay.
In silence.
no. Is it because, you know, we're not human?
Likely.
What do they look like? To the people who are passing, do they look like humans?
Yes, every single one of them.
Oh no. Oh no! Gentrification strikes again.
Do they look normal? Like, is there anything we can perceive about these people?
Make an insight check.
Insight. Where's my character sheet? There we go. Insight.
18.
Oops.
Other than the ones who were, like, as you notice, they don't appear to be happy.
They're grumpy.
Like, the fog is probably not the only thing that is weighing upon the entire village.
Oh yeah. Well, You know, we don't know what the socio-political climate is until we find a tavern and listen in to people talking.
We need those rumors. All right. So as we're walking down the lane, is there or Kane or him? Are you going to engage somebody?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find anyone that like doesn't try to run away from me.
That's not like open carrying a weapon or
Yeah,
a pitchfork.
yeah.
Okay. You find a man who is dressed kind of shabbily, is wearing a cloak that he's holding fairly close about him.
Okay.
Yeah, Bren. You can be sitting on the top of the tavern, sure. What do you say? Him?
Him will use his old man voice.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. We're looking for somewhere to rest and find provisions.
Okay. So I imagine that you guys said you're going to keep walking down the lane. So I imagine you guys are all right about here.
Sounds about right.
And he points actually this way. Basically toward the road that you had entered in on. Because you guys entered in to the town and fairly quickly took a right.
What did him say?
Where to find a place to rest and food.
Yep.
Okay, but he's not using words.
Oh no, he's using his old man voice.
The person who's talking, he kind of like hurriedly points in the direction that you were going.
Gotcha.
He kind of seems to want to be done with this conversation.
Are they not supposed to? I wonder if they're not supposed to talk to outsiders.
Him shrugs, just says, this way. And heads off the other direction.
Okay. So you guys moving back here.
This smells fishy.
How far can I see? Can I see them from where I am?
No, because of the fog.
Ah, damn it. Stupid fog.
Yeah.
Nabbit.
So is there anything unusual about the fog? Is it like regular run-of-the-mill, like weather condition fog? Or is this like some weird fucked up, like, magical fog?
Other than the fact that as far as you can tell, it's persisted for at least 4 days, it seems to be normal.
As normal as 40-year-old fog is.
I mean,
I
it's...
grew up in a place that had constant fog, so it's not unheard of. It just means more like swampy.
Welcome to Silent Hill.
Indeed. All right, so assuming it's not out of the gate, we'll keep heading down the path and see if we can find the inn.
Okay.
What is around us? Are they houses? Are these businesses?
Yes, they're houses.
Okay. Are they like single-family homes or like apartments?
They appear to most likely be single-family homes.
That just
They
determines.
have little back gardens and goats.
Cute goats.
Not that you see. Like, there's... Like, these are just houses. They don't appear to have any yards or anything, which is actually not uncommon.
What about that one? Well, how do I point to something on the map?
Hold the pointer.
Yeah.
Or the button, I should say.
What about that one?
You
That's a
didn't make her watch the bullshit tutorial?
key, and no.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have, 12-year-old girl.
Oh, you're
think
cutting
the
out. I don't
microphone
think I heard
cut off.
you.
I have a rare condition where I sound like a 12-year-old girl despite being a 19-year-old man.
Quite all right.
So, yeah, this area right here is just a common area. where a
Aw.
couple of houses abut together.
Ah.
And that's what you're mostly going to find, just everywhere. That doesn't strike any of your characters as odd.
So a pretty generic-looking medieval-ish village.
Yeah. If anything, it's large. It's closing in on town-sized, but yeah.
Interesting.
And what kind of people are passing us? Are these like working class or business class or?
They appear to all be, for lack of a better term, peasants. Just normal people. They're not. Yeah, you don't see rich people around.
They're not the bourgeoisie.
Yes. You've also not noticed a single person whose clothing is not shabby to some degree or another. Like, all, 15 people you've seen.
Which is very counter to what we saw in the house. There are clearly some sort of upper class.
Yes. And that house was one of the tallest that you've seen so far.
How upper class could freaking Haunted Mansion be? It could be sponsored by Disney for all we know.
So I assume you
Are we
guys.
still walking?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's keep walking.
Okay, well, let's move you guys to here. This is the next time where there's kind of a fork. But what you guys do notice through the fog is there does appear to be a main square up ahead.
Seems like a good place to go.
Okay. So moving you guys here to the square, a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog.
That's not creepy.
Above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs, precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
Not creepy at all.
Ooh. Can I do things?
Yes, you guys do notice that there is a drow sitting on top of the tavern.
Have any of us met Drow before?
You guys are from Faerun, so yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure you've even heard of Drist du Orden.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my.
All right, so we've heard of this person before, but we're not on first name terms.
Well, you've heard of Drist. Yeah, he's a hero.
And a good Drow.
Yes, and that's that's his thing. He's the moody good drow who turned his back on his evil culture. And he has a pet panther.
That's cool.
Panther. The panther with him.
Well, this isn't Drist. This is just
I'm not
a
that guy.
drow.
We're just aware
That's
of.
racist, excuse me.
All right, I missed a memo. Sorry.
Not all Drow are dressed.
Not a drower, this is one guy.
Obviously, you haven't talked to most people who have played drow.
Meh.
Bren,
Anyway, can I do a dramatic flip off of the roof?
sure, make an acrobatics
Oh,
check.
acrobat-
Because you're like,
Daytime.
Relatively.
Hey.
yeah,
Ah,
I think
you
that pretty well.
gracefully flip
Is that
the
a natural 20 or a non-natural 20?
non-natural. If
it'll
it's
be
in
green if it's natural.
Yeah, if you mouse over, you can see it's a 14 plus 6.
yep.
Got it. Maybe I could have watched the stupid tutorial thing. I don't know how anything works.
No, it's a bullshit tutorial. Don't do it.
It's boring and you'll hate yourself.
The only thing I learned from it was fun things to do in chat.
Which is, it's
Anyway.
always worth it for that.
So yeah, you fairly gracefully make the 20-foot drop to the ground, and even manage to do a full-on flip on your way down.
Holy crap, did we interrupt a performance?
Hello there.
Hello!
And a very short crow person in the voice of an old man says, "Hello."
Hmm.
Storm
You're
Hunter
not from
nods.
around here,
Sup.
are you?
From what I've seen, I'd say the same about you.
Indeed.
Observant. Astute, one might even say.
So, maybe you know. Where are we?
Do I know that?
You would know that you are in a village called Barovia, and that the whole valley that you're in is ruled by someone who is almost universally referred to as the Devil Strahd.
Okay, can I lie and say that I don't know anything?
Oh.
Sure.
Oh, you are a rogue.
Make a deception check, and
I don't know anything.
yeah, I'm going to say you guys don't have reason to disbelieve that.
How did you come to be here?
Just passing through, you know, as performers do.
Bummer.
You should come in, sit down. I'm just finishing up supper. You look tired.
We're trying to figure out where we are, basically. But yeah, why don't we go in? We could get something to eat.
Agreed.
Okay, so you guys want to walk in?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm actually going to keep your tokens outside, and you guys might want to zoom in on the tavern. Because as
Is there a shortcut zoom, or do I actually have to like click and drag this?
I think you have to click and drag it.
Okay. It looks like Lucius Malfoy.
Hot. I mean,
Okay, so as you guys walk in, one of the first things you notice is the sign. It used to say Blood of the Vine, but someone scratched an N over the F. It was very
Creepy. Ominous.
It's very clearly a once finely appointed tavern, but it's not been taken care of over the years. But there is a blazing fire in the hearth that gives very little warmth to the few people inside. They include the barkeep, 3 elves who are sitting together, and a man.
a man.
What kind of man?
A human
Yes,
man.
I also want.
Human.
A manly man.
An attractive man.
Apparently he looks like Lucius Malfoy.
Man in tights. Tight tights?
No.
What do the elves look like?
Actually, you know what? I bet you I have a picture of him.
But do you?
I do. There you go.
Ah. We smacked the lizard. Not that we know that yet.
Bren does.
Yeah, I know things.
You
have told us that.
you've heard people call him, not to his face, Ismark the Lesser.
He has kind eyes. They
So
look
he
kind
looks-
of dead inside, though.
He looks
Two.
rather less shabby than the other folks.
Yes, he does. The elves are flamboyant. They're in bright colors.
Oh wow, that is different for this village.
Performers?
You don't know.
So is
Do
there
I know
a
them?
rationed amount of cheerfulness, and these 3 elves have it, and nobody else in the town can get it?
Do I know if they're performers?
They are not performers.
Okay, I assumed as much since I'm doing that shtick around here. Okay.
They are apparently the owners.
Interesting.
Feeling a gentrification. This is the only elves
No.
we've seen.
So, you guys notice that the 3 elves are sitting together at one table, and in almost the exact opposite side of the tavern, the human sits alone, and the barkeep is sitting at the bar, and you notice he is almost all the way down a long line of cups, and he is wiping each cup down.
Oh, so the elves aren't like sister wives.
Can I persuade the barkeep to give my new friend some food since I'm, like performing and then getting free food for performing?
You can definitely try.
Okay,
You've been rolling well. Keep it going.
I'm gonna do this. Hey, can I get some? Well, that's the wrong thing. Crap.
No.
Performance. Whoops.
It's a kind of performance.
Persuasion.
Hey, oh, that's not good.
Hey, each one of your rolls has been worse.
Oh dear.
Maybe Bren likes to master all forms of performance, like other celebrity.
What, Hugh Jackman? Oh, I would love.
No, Dwayne Johnson. I'll tell you guys about that later.
I think I know what the Rock is cooking. Or I smell what the Rock, whatever.
So,
Hey, can I get some food for my friends? Like you do. That sounded like about 12. But I'll figure that.
the barkeep, whose name is Arctic, or Arik, rather, it's Arik. He's a pudgy little man, and he looks up, and like his eyes look dead. Like there's nothing going on behind it, and he just intones, "Trenchers are 9 copper. Vegetables and sausage are a silver." And then he just keeps cleaning his glass, and he sets one down, and he moves on to the last in the line.
Don't remember if we have any money.
I know, I'm going to go look at my money right now.
I shrug. I'm gonna do a performance because that's what you do, I guess.
I picked up some silver pieces and gold pieces from the house in one of the treasure chests, so I have some money if you guys don't.
Yeah.
I don't have any on my character sheet.
Yeah, me either.
I don't think you guys have money.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Well, I'm the packed mule for everything, so. So
Before what is a trencher?
A trencher is a heel of bread that's been hollowed out and filled with soup.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I mean, bread bowl, stew.
It's similar to a bread bowl. Just most bread bowls are cooked to be bread bowls. This is just oh, we're near the end of the loaf of bread, so we're going to cut it off and then hollow it out.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So I look at the barkeep and I'm like, do you know any place that also sells trail rations? We need to restock.
Across the street, Beldrath Cantimir's place.
Thank you kindly. Look at my pack mates.
Ooh, can I come?
And as you guys are kind of talking, he puts down the last glass, walks back to the other side of the line, and starts cleaning it.
I don't think he's human.
I don't think he's happy.
Who is?
Should we eat here first and then go get trail rations?
Yeah, let's get a hot meal.
Agree.
And I say to Bryn, and absolutely, please join us.
Aw, kind of you.
Well, thank you for
I'll
bringing
sit.
us in here.
I'll sit and play my little instrument thing that I have.
So, as you guys are getting ready to settle in, the man in the corner actually stands up and beckons you over to him.
What do I got here? Feel like I should roll something.
Insight, maybe?
If you're trying to figure out his emotional state, yes, that would be insight.
Okay.
Is he trying to murder us? Is he a murdery fella?
He does not appear to be. He does appear to want something, though.
I'll make my way.
Is this
over
one of the
towards him.
elves?
No, it is the human.
Ooh, human.
It's Ismark right here.
Okay.
As I am compassionate, I will walk over and introduce myself.
I'll follow after my feathered friend. Try not to ruffle his feathers.
I'm following too.
He
I will come as well.
He introduces himself as Ismark. Oh, what's his last name?
The lesser.
Kolyanovich.
Wow.
And he says, please, sit down. Join me. And don't worry about the cost of your food and drink. I will cover that.
Thank
Ooh.
you.
Much appreciated, kind sir.
Very
Sugar
kind.
daddy.
I'll sit closest to him. I'm furry. Are you allergic to cats?
He
I
just
told you she was a furry.
he looks kind of sidelong for a second and goes, "No, but please. I admit I have ulterior motives in asking you to come over."
Doesn't everybody?
He just smiles at this. From the looks of you, you are all adventurers. Am I wrong?
That is correct.
We are adventurers.
Then I ask your aid to help my adopted sister.
What happened with your sister?
He kind of pauses for a second, trying to collect himself. Have you heard of Count Strahd?
We may have recently read some interesting tidbits about him.
Him nods.
Strahd has taken a fancy to my sister.
And you don't approve?
It seems like fire burns in his eyes for a second at that. And he goes, "When Strahd takes who he will, they never return."
I can understand your concern.
I would like your help to escort my sister Irina to Valaki. It is a settlement in the heart of the valley. It is beyond the view of Castle Ravenloft. And I hope it is beyond the reach of Strahd.
Well,
I lean
Have you
over.
going into the castle? I like castles.
What was that, Bryn?
Does that mean going into the castle? I like castles.
No, we would not enter that accursed place.
We would be skirting around it and
We would be
ferrying somebody out of the country.
we'd be following the road. He kind of looks and he goes, "I know this fog has lasted for many days, so you may not have seen, but this village lays at the base of a cliff, and on one of our few clear days, you can see the castle on top of the cliff."
Okay. We were kind of waylaid in a house for a few days, so we haven't seen much of anything of the town yet.
He nods at this. "So you've encountered the Death House."
Yes.
him looks at Tome. Very concerned.
What a lovely nickname.
It has been called that since before my time, from before my father's time, stretching back almost as long as anyone remembers.
Wow, so those ghost children weren't new ghost children. Oh boy.
So, yeah. He asks if you would be willing to help him.
Your mission sounds honorable.
I look at Storm
Oh,
Hunter.
were we honorable people?
We're honorable.
I learn more about you every minute.
Storm Hunter nods and gives a little non-committal shoulder shrug.
I'm honorable.
Was that an
We're
in-character question? Are we honorable?
Oh yeah,
Then
I am mostly in character.
Storm Hunter would nod firmly for that. To the response for Tome, with like a head cocked to the side, like shrugging shoulders and nodding head yes.
I hate to be this person, but would there be compensation or is this pro bono?
I will forgive that because you do not know who my father is.
We don't know much, I'll be honest.
He kind of stops at this and says, "Well, was. My father was the burgomaster." What was that?
I said in character, does anybody want to ask?
Burgomasters are that is a name of heads of towns. It's one of the names that they go by.
All right. So, who was your dad? Your father?
I'm trying to find his name right now.
Don't.
I forgot it. Is it here?
So what
I
kind of
thought it
instrument does
was.
Bryn have?
It's like a little violin.
Oh, cute. A viola.
It's a.
Yeah, it's just called a viol. So there's no or in. It's just I don't know.
A viol.
It's pronounced viol. It's similar to a viola.
Oh, it's so tiny. We're looking at photos. You internet.
Viola de gamba.
Okay, his name is Kolyan Endurovich.
Does that ring a bell to any of us? Can I roll something?
Do any of us recognize that?
Well, what you guys would recognize is the fact that with Ismark's last name being Kolyanovich, the son of Kolyan.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you guys can all do an intelligence check.
Oh, I don't know things.
No. None of you have ever heard of someone with that name.
Since we have just arrived, would you mind telling us more about this town?
He looks at you and says, I would prefer if we finished eating and then went to collect my sister.
Okay, but back on the compensation question. I hate to be that guy.
He sarcastically says, "Oh, I'm sure you do." If Irina is safely brought to Vallaki, I will see to it that you guys are compensated for your troubles.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
He doesn't is even acknowledge that.
Him sighs loudly.
So,
We're met sighed loudly.
yes. So, Bryn. Did we catch Bryn's name outside before we came in here?
I didn't introduce myself, but that's an oversight. Can I retroactively have introduced myself?
Yes.
Okay.
I imagine all of you introduced each other.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Him would have said their full name.
Which would take a while.
It's a whole freaking song.
It is.
If you want to listen to it, click on my character sheet and look.
I saw it, yeah.
Yes, that is his complete name.
Just don't ask him why the caged bird sings. No, when you give me side-eye in real life, you need to tell everybody who's listening that you're giving me side-eye.
And the other two would have said that generally they just call him, as in the type of music. not.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Not just that guy over there. No.
And then the Goliath introduces himself as Stormhunter, and the Tabaxi introduces herself as Tome of Secrets.
All right.
Just generally shortened to
gonna-
Tome.
Give myself a last name.
Well, you should. Then we can know what house you're from.
Ooh.
Yes.
Decisions.
Friend's last name is Whitcatcher. Not because that's his actual last name, but just because he thought it was funny.
Why not?
So Ismark, as you guys finish up, he walks over to the barkeep and sets some money down on the counter. And this whole time, the barkeep has been washing every single glass, and he reached the end again and went back to the start and has been washing every single glass again.
Is he, like, good? Is he good?
Is who good? The barkeep?
The barkeep, is he not like good, like alignment-wise? Like, is he okay? Is he alright?
You have met a couple of Barovians who are like him. There doesn't seem to be much happening.
We have a new party member. It's my cat, Georgie. Sorry.
Oh, that's amazing.
So then Ismark walks over to here, and we can all start zooming back out again. Basically, he crosses the square and starts walking down. He said, as he gets across from this opening, sparse light from this building spills out from behind heavily drawn curtains. A sign over the door, creaking on its hinges, reads Bildrath's Mercantile.
Ooh, perfect.
Ismark pointed and he said, I couldn't help but overhear you're looking for supplies. You'll find it there at Bilrath's.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And he keeps walking.
Georgie says thank you too.
Can I sneakily follow him?
Well, I mean, he expects all of you to follow him.
Ah, alright. Then I'll just follow him
Okay.
normally.
Okay. You guys can
That's fun, though.
pick up your tokens and move them.
Okay. I just
So-
have to zoom out real quick.
As you guys are passing that location that's marked E3.
E3. Okay.
Yep. You guys notice a moaning sob that floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sound
Ooh, I don't care for
flows.
that shit at all.
The sounds flow from a dark 2-story townhouse.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm not sure I want to go in any more houses in this town.
The entire house is boarded up. At least what you can see.
Oh yeah.
Well, so was the last one, but we didn't know that until we got inside of it.
Well, this one...
Are we gonna be good people and go into this creepy house? I would vote no.
Oh, Ismark keeps walking.
I'm gonna tap on his shoulder and point at the house.
He just kind of sighs. That is the house of Mad Mary.
Yeah. And so it's another ghost, is what you're saying.
No.
Like there's actually somebody in there?
Mary has kept her daughter Gertruda in that house for the girl's entire life. She's now a teenager, and a week ago, she broke out of the house, and no one has seen her.
Will somebody do something about that? Oh god,
Why
what
is
am I
this
saying?
our problem?
We have sent people to look. but there are so many dangers outside Barovia. At this point, no one believes that the girl is still alive.
I just heard
hospital
moaning.
that. If we see her, we'll bring her back.
So, yeah.
Unfortunate. I mean, yeah.
He keeps walking.
Aww.
Don't make
just
it
keep
problem.
walking.
That problem. I don't want to deal with the dead child.
Yeah, we've already done that.
Multiple
I was there for that.
dead children. So he eventually walks up to a weary-looking mansion that squats behind a rusted iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path all around the domain. Heavy claw marks have stripped the once beautiful finish off the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
Oh, cool. So we're gonna go into this building?
Yeah. Ismark's walking up to it.
I think he lives here.
Okay.
Be polite.
Be very wary. Let's follow behind.
Storm Hunter?
Storm Hunter's pulling up the rear.
Okay. Let's see. As he gets to the door, he knocks on it, and it appears to be a really heavy door. And very shortly afterward, a woman appears and opens the door. And I will show you what she looks like here in a second.
Ooh. That's a big collar.
I don't see anything.
I'm looking for it. Give me a
They were
second.
talking about things.
Well, you
Just the little icon.
yeah.
Oh, I
In
don't
the
even
circle.
see that. Do I need to scroll down?
Scroll down a little bit. Yeah.
You should see her right now.
Yep.
I'm not sure
Oh,
she
that's
needs
your
our help.
sister.
Yes.
It looks like little sis can handle her damn self.
Yeah.
It looks like
Adopted
she's gonna give brother a place to stick that sword.
She invites the whole group in, and Ismark walks in. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm still thinking about that house down the street.
The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixings show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. The burgomaster is in a side drawing room on the floor, lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay.
Oh, like how recently did this guy die?
Before you got here.
So help me
Like-
understand. The faint odor of decay, like it came naturally, or like they have this
From the flowers.
light decay scented Febreze?
It's from the flowers that are surrounding the coffin. So, yeah.
Febreze. I see that there's probably a great expediency now to get her out of here.
And Ismark says, Irina, these adventurers have come and agreed to help me take you to Vallaki, where you'll be safe. And she turns away from him and toward the coffin and says, no.
Yeah, does she want to go? This sounds like a domestic dispute that I don't think we should be part of.
Is there anything weird going on in the house? Is there anything that I can perceive?
Inside the house, make a perception check.
Fuck.
No.
Can I see what I can investigate about the coffin without looking too eager?
No, investigation. You can't subtly investigate. No,
Alright.
not
Say
a coffin.
Prayer over the coffin.
Are you gonna ask permission first, or are you just gonna balls out, beak out, do this?
Hey, I agreed to help them. They can deal with me.
Fall to the wall. No regret.
Wow, the cleric didn't even do that.
Irina looks at you and says, wolves and other terrible creatures have attacked the house night after night for weeks. My father's heart couldn't stand the constant assault, and he died a few days ago. Since his death, the wolves and worse have not been back.
We were told that there was a complication more than just that situation that required you to be escorted away from this town.
And that is what my brother believes, but I will not leave here with my father laying dead in our drawing room. And if Ismark thinks that my mind will ever be changed about that, he is more foolish than even the commoners of the town think he to be.
Why don't we just bury the dead guy?
Stormhunter furrows his brow and asks, where do you need your father to be?
We can take him to the church for a proper burial. If you'd be so kind as to help Ismark deliver my father's body safely to Donovich, the local priest.
And are you going to be coming with us?
I can come with you, yes.
That would make me feel much better knowing that you aren't alone in this empty house.
Chip
And you
eater.
also got a
Mute
big
your mic.
sword.
Okay.
Who's the chip eater?
I am, of course. Oh, I've got to get on the right layer again. So do you guys want to follow Ismark and Irina?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Alder?
Stormhunter is strong enough that he just lifts
Can carry
the
coffin by himself.
coffin over one arm.
Is he still fresh? I mean, how long has he been decaying here?
Ew. Good question.
He's probably been dead about 4 or 5 days.
That's
Aw,
some
gross.
wreckage.
Pretty right.
Wait, is it just the body, or is it a body in a coffin?
It's a body in a coffin.
Body in a coffin.
Well, then he's been prepared. He's probably.
Is
stuffed
this
with her.
waterproof? Is this like sealed coffin?
Ugh.
No, it was made by Ismark and Irina themselves.
Why is this the second conversation I've had about funerary stuff today?
We live a charmed life.
Okay, so you guys
Ah,
first walk back this way.
Whoa, that was cool.
What, the fact that I'm moving the whole group as one?
Yeah.
And we're an upside down cross.
I was thinking more of a sword.
Oh,
That
sure.
Oh, that's a graveyard. Now it all makes sense.
Oh, that is a graveyard, isn't it?
That's a lot of graveyard.
I have to scroll.
A
I
top.
thought it was like a suburban development,
I thought
like
that
the
was
trailer park.
Micro apartments.
But no, those are probably crypts. Those are not
only
community
dead
centers.
people.
They're probably still bigger than the micro apartments.
Atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a gray and sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and a flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load.
Whoa.
So we are moving to another list. To another map.
So as we walked, did we talk? Did they tell us anything about their family and maybe their family issues or anything like that?
Not really.
Shouldn't we have told stories to remember their father as we walked to the church? I'm gonna suggest that.
Can I persuade them to tell us some stories?
You can certainly try.
Hey,
They tell a few stories of growing up as, the children of the Burgomaster. Irina does tell you that she has no memory before what she is told was her first day at, with the Burgomaster and Ismark, who is several years older than her.
Is that weird? That sounds weird.
that sounds weird. I agree.
How old was she when she came to live with them?
8.
8.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, Ismark, do you remember how she came to be with your family?
He shoots you a look and says, "We found her one day in the woods."
Sounds familiar.
What voice did you just use on me,
The
old man?
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are standing in front of the church. Oh, what were you gonna say, Bren?
I wanna ask the other people in the party if they found themselves in the woods like her when they
Yes.
came here.
Sort of.
Huh.
Do you remember a fog?
Was that to
Me?
Irina?
Yes.
She says, "No. It was a bright sunny day."
Interesting. 'Cause we found ourselves in the woods, but there was a thick fog.
It was sunnier earlier in the day.
That's true. But when we went to bed and woke up, there was the fog.
There's always been the fog.
We were born of the fog. We'll marry in the fog. We'll die in the fog. Children in the fog.
Fog life.
And hopefully before the dying part.
Maybe?
In this land, who knows?
We did get our first comment a little while ago in the chat. Whoa.
Oh, they say.
There's a network error.